Hi guys, welcome back to World of Tanks with a mighty Jingles. I'm afraid I only have time for a quick video today. I've had the builders in putting new windows in the room where all my computer equipment is, and obviously I had to move all the computer equipment, the desks, everything out while they fitted the windows, and then it took time to set everything back up again, so I don't really have time to do a long video today. But I can't let you go without a video every day, so this is a game in my T32 that I played with Circumflexes and Sir Foch. It's a tier 9 match on the new Japanese Hidden Village map. Not a huge fan of this map. It's undeniably one of the best looking maps I think they've introduced in the game for a long time, but this Northwest is another example of maps that they've introduced that look fantastic, but a third of the map is unplayable terrain. So the map is actually a lot smaller and a lot tighter than it first looks. They've addressed this on Northwest by opening up the bottom southeast side of the map. I don't know if they have any plans to do the same sort of thing on this one. As you can see, the bottom southwest side of the map is just a whole no-go zone. If they are, I'll be interested in seeing how they're going to do it. But the map that we're on isn't the point of this video. The point of this video is to address a problem that I in particular have when I'm playing World of Tanks and things are going badly. In this game I am going to do pretty much nothing for the first 2/3 of the game. 2/3 of all the tanks in this battle are going to be dead before I even do my first point of damage. And I find that particularly hard to deal with because I know I should be better than that. If you've ever watched somebody who's really, really good at World of Tanks, somebody like Quickie Baby, Circumflexes, Highfly 15, even when things are badly stacked against them, they never ever give up. Right? When you see them, when they get into the zone, it's like watching a Terminator driving a tank. They fight for every last possible scrap of damage they can do. I'm not like that. Most people aren't like that. Most of us aren't good enough to be able to pull the kind of clutch carry games that these guys can do when their backs are up against the wall, they're outnumbered, they're out-tiered by the tanks in front of them. Much as we are here, there are 4 tier 9s on the enemy team. We've run into 3 of them, and we're all tier 8s. Although we do have a Yag Tiger with us. All we've got behind us is a bunch of tier 7s and 8s. You know, we are... we're the armoured spearhead up here against a whole bunch of tier 9 tanks. We've also got an AMX 1390 on the flank down there, so we can't go around this side because the 1390 is just waiting for us to give him our flanks. Can't go around the other side because there's an AMX 50 Foch just waiting to obliterate anybody who comes around that side. So I'm pretty much stuck behind this rock with Sir Foch, and feeling more and more impotent as the game goes on. Tanks are dying all around me. There goes the Panther 2. and I have done nothing to contribute to the outcome of this game, other than keeping that AMX 1390 locked down. You know, yay, fantastic contribution from Jingles. And I know you could be forgiven for thinking that I'm the most level-headed and reasonable tank driver in the world, if all you've ever seen is my videos on YouTube, because I have the luxury of being able to do a commentary on these videos days or weeks after the game happened. If you want to see how much I really lose the plot when these things are live, tune in on some of Quickie Baby's or Circumflex's live streams. I'm actually quite famous on Twitch for raging. I'm not proud of it. It's just the kind of player I am. I'd like to do well. I know I should be able to do well. And when I'm not performing to the standard that I know I can perform at, I get really, really pissed off. I do keep it to myself though. Well, I don't keep it to myself. I rage on Twitch. I rage on voice chat, but I'll never start yelling in battle chat. I'm not that much of a douchebag. But when you're in situations like this, I mean, look at that. Half of both teams are dead and I have done nothing. And I've been in situations on various live streams where I've just been in a tank, I misread the map, I'm in the wrong location, there's absolutely nothing happening on my side of the map, guys on the other side of the map are clearing up, the game's nearly over, 2/3 of the enemy team are dead, we haven't taken any casualties and I haven't seen a single thing to shoot at, and I'm just thinking, well, you clearly don't need me, I'll see you in the garage and I'll just quit out of the game. A really good player would never do that. And right here at this exact moment, this is the point where I gave up in this particular battle. I've done nothing the entire game, 2/3 of both teams are dead, I finally get a shot at an enemy tank and it bounces. Now, the shot was never going to penetrate the turret of the IS-8, but that's not the point. The point was the frame of mind that I was in. I'm sitting here thinking, I am no use to my team alive. I have done nothing whatsoever to contribute to the outcome of this game, and now we're being rushed by their tier 9 heavies. And I gave up. And I just sat there thinking, come on then, kill me, get it over with. And I don't even try to angle the tank against the shot from the IS-8. I'm just, you go on, do it. And I'm just waiting to die. I have completely run out of shits to give at this stage. But then I remember I've got a platoon mate counting on me. All the while this is going on, Sir Foch is trying to help me against this IS-8. And he's yelling at me, watch out, IS-8 on your left. And it's one thing to be so disgusted with your own performance that you just lose the will to carry on. But when you've got somebody relying on you, in all good conscience, I couldn't just abandon him to his fate, because if I die, he's next. So I started fighting back. If Foch's IS-6 had been knocked out at this stage of the game, I would have just sat there and waited for the IS-8 to kill me. I was so disgusted with my performance in this game that I just did not care anymore. But Foch was still in the game, and he needed me to have his back. Now, it's one thing to be so pissed off with your own terrible performance that you just lose the will to carry on and quit the battle. But it's an entirely different thing to leave a platoon mate who's counting on you to certain death and defeat just because you're feeling sorry for yourself. So despite my own awful performance up to this point, purely and simply because Foch was still there and he was still counting on me, I manned the hell up and started killing tanks. And I don't want to give the impression, by the way, it just occurred to me I should probably make this clear, that I am definitely not the kind of player who just quits the game as soon as it looks like we're going to lose. That's totally not the point of what I'm saying here. Although, you know, I'm sure hundreds of people are going to try to say that it is. But I am the kind of player who should be able to do better than I sometimes do. And when I don't, I get very, very pissed off and angry with it. And it affects my performance. And it affects my decision making. And that's one of the reasons why I'm never going to be a Unicum player at World of Tanks. Because I do find it very, very difficult to control my disappointment. And keep playing at the standard that great players play at, without some kind of incentive for me to keep going, like a platoon mate who needs me. And so every time since this game, I have been in that kind of situation where I've been just having a terrible game and nothing I do seems to be going right. I try to make myself think of this result, because hopefully this game will serve to illustrate and remind me in future that it does not matter how badly you have been doing in a game of World of Tanks. There is always a point at which you can make the difference. And the truly great players at World of Tanks don't need me to tell them that. They already know it. And yeah, sure, I mean, what could have happened in that game was that I dealt with the first IS-8, drove around the corner, and the second one hammer-racked me. Could have happened that way, but it didn't. It wasn't a disaster because I kept on fighting. It's always going to be a disaster if you just give up. And there are probably thousands of you out there watching this video thinking, well, I never give up. I always fight to the last shot in my gun. And you know what? If that's the case, good. Seriously, good. Good for you. You either already are a better player at World of Tanks than I am, or you've got the potential to be a better player at World of Tanks than I am. But I really needed this result to put things into perspective and remind me that there is always something to fight for. As always, folks, take care on that battlefield, and I'll catch you next time.